Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name's Noelle and I do unboxings, mostly lifestyle subscription boxes, but also some stationery, books, beauty, jewelry, travel, home decor, even a dash of Disney. So if you enjoy unboxings, I hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel and hitting the notification bell so that you find out whenever I post new videos, announce giveaways, or go live. As always, if you are already subscribed, thank you so much for being here and welcome back. I am doing a giveaway to celebrate my first 2 years here on YouTube, so definitely stay tuned till the end of this video to find out how to enter and win one of 8 mystery boxes that I've put together for you. Today though, I have a great book box. This is the second one that I've received from them, and that is Down the Rabbit Hole. I love this dark blue box, which totally goes with their theme, which is having a little bit of a darker read, not always a happy ending. And for someone like me who absolutely loves thrillers, those are what keep me really captivated these days, this is the perfect box. What's really fun is that they bring it to life by including some gifts. So as you're reading, you'll get to a page that has a sticky note and then you go to that corresponding gift. So it's always a really fun experience. This box is $34.99 per month plus shipping. To me, the shipping here in California is I think about $10.50, but if you use the code Noelle10, you can save 10%. As always, I will leave all of that information for you in the description box below. Now this is the July box. I am a little bit behind on my reading, but for boxes like this, where it does really enhance the experience if you open the gifts as you read, I do like to read the book, even if it's one, as in this case, that I've read before. It had been quite a few years since I read this particular novel, so I actually really enjoyed going through it and seeing how they sort of interpret it in this box with the gifts. So let's go ahead and get into it. This is what it looks like when you open it up. So a little bit more floral and fun on the interior, you can kind of see, and they do have a nice little pamphlet that sort of has the hint. So if you do want to find out what the actual book is, you can email them, they will tell you, but otherwise they just sort of give you hints for the month. So the July book box, the hint was, Mama always told me I was not a nice little girl. So maybe you guys can already guess. The book is Gillian Flynn's debut novel, which was Sharp Objects, and I always forget that that was like her debut novel. It was so impressive and so very dark. So it does tell us a little bit about her in here, which I absolutely love. Some reviews. It says, Flynn's first story, written in 3rd grade, was called To the Outhouse. It was a riff on Little House on the Prairie, in which a girl gets up to go to an outhouse in the middle of the night and is promptly surrounded by wolves. So she's always had a little bit of a darker streak, it seems like. And it says that Sharp Objects was Flynn's debut novel and was recently made into an HBO miniseries. I believe it was with Amy Adams, who I absolutely love as an actress. I haven't actually seen it. I thought about maybe watching it when I got this box, but I thought, you know, it's always better to read the book first, even though it was a second read for me. It says her works have been published in 41 languages. She lives in Chicago with her husband and their children. There is rumor that she has been working on her next novel, so I would absolutely love to see that, because again, hers are so good. They really do translate well to cinema as well, I think. So each month they will include a combination of bookish gifts and experience enhancing items mentioned or connected to that month's book. So let's go ahead and get started. This is what the book looked like. It's actually not a very long book. I think it's around 250 pages. But what I loved is in this particular box, there were 6 different gifts, and I actually thought they were really great. One of the really fun things was that there was a gift on page 1 just to get you started, and this is what one of those little sticky notes looks like. So I will read the little passage that kind of goes along with it. It says, my sweater was new, stinging red and ugly. It was May 12th, but the temperature had dipped into the 40s, and after 4 days of shivering in my shirt sleeves, I grabbed cover at a tag sale rather than dig through my boxed up winter clothes. Spring in Chicago. So this, of course, is Camille, the main character. She actually doesn't spend much time in Chicago. She travels back to her hometown, but I was kind of like looking on the page, I was like, I don't think we're gonna get a sweater, but this is what we actually received, and it's not necessarily super tied to the book. This is gift 1, so it came in this cute little box. And it was great that they gave it to us on page 1 because it was a bookmark, but I kind of love it because yes, it is a little bit of a sharp object for sure, but this also got this like floral design here, like a little cabochon. It's very like Victorian, which you'll, if you have read the book, you know that there's a Victorian mansion. There's a lot of like kind of weird formality in this book, even though it's set in the early 2000s. There's a lot of like kind of throwback sort of things and a lot of like classicism, etc. So let's let's go ahead and go to our next page, and maybe I can give you a better example of where the gift kind of goes along with the book a little bit better. So here is a gift number 2, and that would be on page 60. So this is another big spoiler, guys. I'm a cutter, you see, also a snipper, a slicer, a carver, a jabber. I am a very special case. I have a purpose. My skin, you see, screams. It's covered with words: cook, cupcake, kitty, curls, as if a knife-wielding first grader learned to write on my flesh. I sometimes, but only sometimes, laugh, getting out of the bath and seeing out of the corner of my eye, down the side of my leg, baby doll. So this is a very interesting thing. I'm very curious to see how they interpreted that or portrayed that in the HBO series, for sure, because it is definitely a shocking image, even if you're just thinking about it in your own mind. So this is a gift number 2, and I was like, what are we gonna get? Are we gonna get like a knife or something? This is kind of scary. So this is definitely another sharp object. It's kind of an edgy item. I haven't actually taken it out of the plastic yet. I was a little bit surprised by it, but it definitely is kind of cool. So this is, if you have a little bit of edge to you, it's a pin, but it's a gold razor blade, you guys. I know, kind of crazy, right? But it's actually very pretty. It's definitely, not exactly sure when I would wear that, but it kind of could look very cool on your like punk rock like jacket or something. So that's what that is. I know, I was very surprised by it too, but I kind of love that it was like in gold, so it's very obviously not a real razor blade. All right, let's see what else we have got. We had quite a few more pages, I think, until we got to gift number 3. So this is, I believe, in Camille's voice. Speaking of stories I started, I need to ask you about one. Is it true Natalie hurt one of her classmates back in Philadelphia? John froze, turned to Meredith, and for the first time, he looked unpleasant. He gave me a true image for the phrase curled lips. His whole body jolted, and I thought he'd bolt for the door. But then he leaned back and took a breath. So we're going to open up a gift number 3. I almost forget like what this one was. Oh, okay. So it came in this little bubble mailer. I was like, uh-oh, what is this? So this is what it was. So this kind of goes along with the story about Natalie. So Natalie was known for actually stabbing a classmate with some scissors. So that is where that one came from. So this is the pair of scissors, but this is a much prettier pair of scissors than the ones that I think that Natalie was probably using in her classroom before her brother and their whole family had to move away and move to the place in the story. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull them out. They are very lovely though, right? They're in like rose gold, and you can see it's like a heron or a bird of some sort. So I absolutely love that because it's a very functional gift, and it is another sharp object. So not surprising with the book Sharp Objects, we got a bunch of sharp objects as our gifts, but I like this one. I think it's very like classy. It would look very nice sitting out on your desk. So we've got a couple more to go. Actually, that was only half of them because like I said, there were 6 gifts this time around. I was actually pretty pleased with the gifts and the quality of them this time. So let me see. It wasn't until towards the end of the book, I believe. We got like a bunch right at the end. So it says, let's see. Katie Lacey Brucker didn't seem to care why I was in her home this Friday morning. There was talk of a celebrity tell-all she was reading and whether children's beauty pageants were forever stigmatized by John Bonet. Mackenzie is just dying to model. Well, she's as pretty as her mother. Who can blame her? Why, Camille, that's sweet of you to say. I never felt like you thought I was pretty. Oh, of course. Don't be silly. Would you like a drink? Absolutely. We don't keep liquor in the home. Of course not. Not what I meant at all. Sweet tea? Sweet tea is lovely. Impossible to get in Chicago. You really miss the little regional goodies. You should see how they do their ham up there. So great to be home. So that, I love how they wrote it, how Gillian wrote it all in like one paragraph where she just delineated who was speaking with italics, because that's sort of how small talk sort of seems to go. It doesn't need to have its own paragraph. It was just kind of happened all in one breath. It almost feels like that way. And we kind of get through the small talk quickly as well in the book, so I kind of loved that. So this is a gift number 4, and I was thinking we might get some sweet tea, and indeed we kind of did, which is nice. So this is what this looks like. It came in some bubble wrap. Let me know in the comments below if you are a fan of sweet tea. So this is Missouri, which is really the Midwest, but like a lot of the time some of the people in the novel seem to associate it with the South. So it's this really cute little mason jar mug. So it does have a handle. It took me a while to find out what this said, but it says Missia Candle Night, which I guess is actually a Japanese singer that had a series of concerts called Candle Night. So I feel like this is maybe like overstock from that, but it just isn't like in a really pretty like script, so you can't really tell exactly what it is. Missia Candle Night, but that's what I found on the internet when I looked it up to find out what that was all about. And then inside of it though, we did get some Southern Breeze pre-sweetened 0 calories cold brew black tea. So we actually got 3 of these, and I thought that was really a fun thing. So I'm gonna have to brew some of that up. I love that it's in individual servings. I don't have to make an entire pitcher of actual sweet tea because I can't drink that much sweet tea. But I will definitely maybe drink it out of my cute little mason jar mug, which I do think is really sweet. I think it'd be really cute to put some like little flowers in there as well and have it as a little kind of country looking vase. All right, we've got 2 more gifts to go, you guys. So on page 235, it says, let's see. Camille, if you could be any fairy tale person in the world, who would you be? Amma asked. Sleeping Beauty, to spend a life in dreams. That sounded too lovely. I'd be Persephone. I don't know who that is, I said. Gayla slapped some collards on my plate and fresh corn. I made myself eat a kernel at a time, my gag reflex churning with each chew. So this was like the biggest, like in size, gift, and I was very curious how we would be interpreting either Sleeping Beauty or Persephone, because this is just like small talk, I guess, again, at the dinner table. When you find out the ending of the book, it's like makes a little bit more sense. It definitely is a little bit more ominous, but it actually came in a little mailer within the box, which I have discarded because it got kind of torn open. And then there was tissue paper inside. And we got this really pretty flower crown, you guys. Isn't that so pretty? I thought it was really lovely. It's got this nice ribbon tie. I'll go ahead and actually, maybe I'll put it on for you guys. Let's see if I can do it without messing my hair up a little bit. There we go. So here is my little flower crown. And I was like, well, I guess maybe this is Sleeping Beauty. But then there was a card on the interior that said, Persephone, Queen of the Underworld. In the Homeric hymn to Demeter, the story is told of how Persephone was gathering flowers in the Vale of Nysa when she was kidnapped by Hades as she picked flowers for a crown and taken to the underworld. Upon learning of the abduction, her mother Demeter in her misery became unconcerned with the harvest or the fruitfulness of the earth, so that widespread famine ensued. Zeus therefore intervened, commanding Hades to release Persephone to her mother. Because Persephone had eaten a single pomegranate seed in the underworld, she could not be completely freed, but had to remain 1/3 of the year with Hades and the dead, and spent the other 2/3 with her mother. So Persephone's crown represents death and hell, female perfection and virginal innocence, transition between the living and the dead. So I thought this was really fun. Absolutely, you could pass this on to like a little girl who wants to play princess, maybe not tell her that it's representing Persephone and living with the dead for 1/3 of the year, but I thought that was really, really fun and very, very pretty, and you could just like hang it on your wall as a little garland as well. So then we had one final gift, and this is at the end in the epilogue. So it says, quickie paperbacks were released about our murderous family. I was showered with book offers. Curry pushed me to take one and quickly backed off. Good for him. John wrote me a kind, pain-filled letter. He thought it was Amma all along, had moved into Meredith's place in part to keep watch, which explained the conversation I'd overheard between him and Amma, who enjoyed toying with his grief. So this was a paper gift, what I call a paper gift. And normally I am anti-paper gift, because if you're just going to type out a letter that's already in the book, to me that doesn't really add to the experience. But they don't actually tell us in the book what John's letter said. So in this box, they gave us maybe what they thought the letter might have said. So I thought that was kind of fun. They did note that it is not by Gillian Flynn, that it is not associated with the book, but it was just a little bit of imaginative writing to sort of give us an idea of what John might have said to Camille. And I actually thought that was kind of a fun additional paper gift, not something something that I'm necessarily going to use, but of course I can use the other items, especially like the scissors or the mason jar. So that was something that did really add to the experience, but wasn't necessarily of high value. So I thought that this was really, really fun. The book itself, you guys, in case you didn't already know, is rather dark, but still a great read, and I definitely loved reading and experiencing once again through Down the Rabbit Hole. So let's talk a little bit about the giveaway, you guys. So in celebration, I'm going to do 8 days basically of giveaways. I've already packed up 8 mystery boxes full of items that I've gotten in different boxes, and all you have to do to enter is fill out the Google form. I'll leave the link in all of the videos, but basically there's going to be a secret word each day. So you have the opportunity to enter 8 times. You can enter all at once at the end of those 8 days, September 1st through the 8th, or you can just do one a day, but I will kind of collate everything and make sure that you got as many entries as passwords or secret words that you included in the Google form. So like I said, you can enter every day, or you can kind of like jot it down on a sticky note and then eventually write all of them down in one single entry, but you will still get all 8 entries if you did that. So I will actually give you a few extra days as well. I probably won't actually kind of collate everything and use a random number picker to select the winners until around September 10th or 11th. September 10th is my actual first upload that I did 2 years ago here on YouTube. You do have to be a subscriber to my channel. It is great if you are also following me over on Instagram. It just makes it a little bit easier for me to reach you. You do have to have a US address, and you do have to be 18 years or older. Of course, this is not associated in any way with Instagram or YouTube. It's just my way of thanking you and kind of encouraging you to go through my videos and watch. So let's get this started. This is considered day 1. So the secret word, kind of going along with the topic of this book. I was going to do the secret word being teeth, but that seems a little dark and I want to keep everything very positive. So the secret word for day 1 is smile. So you would just write that in with all of your contact information in that Google form, and then you will get your first of 8 possible entries. Let me know if you guys do have any questions in the comments below. If you are looking for a fun, darker read, especially as we move into the fall months, I think this would be a great book subscription to kind of get you back on that reading track for sure. Do check Down the Rabbit Hole out. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up, and I will see you all very, very soon in my next unboxing.